What's up, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Zach's Live Trader. Here with you, as always, the People's Champion of Wall Street, the bearded boy wonder, Dave Bartosiak. And I got a little adjusting to do here. Why am I off? Some days you're just a little off. Off a little bit there. So what's up, everybody? Happy Friday. Give it a little bit of time for people to trickle on in here, as I sent out this link a little late. Ended up having to restart my computer. Doesn't usually happen. Usually I can just get to cracking, but had a little issue. I had to restart a little bit, so that's okay. I had to wait for that to load up, but here we are. So these morning after sessions are relatively lax. I don't typically come in with too much of an agenda. I like to just let you guys sort of dictate where I'm going to go. And we also don't, stick around here for... Sometimes we're here for an hour, but I'm not going to keep you held hostage for an hour just for the sake of keeping you held hostage for an hour. So we just kind of go with where the conversation flows. If you guys aren't already hooked up, if you're watching this for the first time, of course you can subscribe for free. I got some emails this week about getting on my distribution list. If you're not on the list, livetrader@zax.com. So send emails to livetrader@zax.com to get on my distribution list. So you know when all these shows are, okay? Yeah, Dave, our Euro short sure is working, and I'm hoping it keeps on going. So you like to see, I like to trade the Euro off at least a 4-hour, if not the daily time frame, because the further out you go, the better off these trends are going to be, right? The stronger these trends are going to develop over time. And you can see here some bullish behavior, really rockets higher. 50-day moving average providing lots of support. You dip below that 50-day, and then things get really interesting, okay? So that's what we're having now. There's some fundamental things happening, right? Overall, U.S. dollar is strengthening. I think with the specter of tax reform, we'll get something. It's probably not going to look like the exact plan that we have now, but we'll get something. So through that tax reform agenda, it's made the U.S. more attractive to outside money, and the U.S. dollar has been strengthening here, which is good. In the sort of immediate term, what's this low? So Thursday, August 17th, the low of 116.62. I wish we would have seen that today. This is, they bring it a little bit lower, then it reverses up. Bring it a little bit lower again, reverses up. Now it's lower again today, but if you notice, series of lower highs and lower lows. I just wanted the bottom to fall out of this. We may not get it today. If we got a non-farm payroll numbers today and it wasn't enough to totally submarine this thing, granted it's early on in the day, so we'll see. But I think we wake up on Sunday and this thing is, 116, if not lower. So, yes, I'm happy about this. And how did that so the way that I've been playing this, and a couple of you have too, is by using FXE. So this is the Euro Trust, the currency shares Euro Trust. And I've got a put spread. I actually have the 113-112 put spread in October 20th. And I think I put it on over here or something. So my timing has been like legendarily terrible for a few of these trades. I got snake bit. I like 4 in a row that just kind of didn't. Timing was off, including this FXY. But I know a couple of you that caught some of that. This FXY correlates to this dollar yen, which again is breaking higher, which should be putting pressure on gold prices, and they are. Okay, so when people are out here talking about gold and you stare them right in the face and you're like, yeah, I think gold prices are going to continue to go down, and they go, but why? That's a fear trade. Look at Bitcoin. Nah, man. You want to trade that? You want to trade gold? Look at dollar yen. Okay? And it's going to do the opposite of what dollar yen does. So if dollar yen is appreciating, gold is going to take it on the chin. Look at what day this dollar yen bottoms out. Friday, September 8th. Friday, September 8th is the peak for gold, right? And it's just been creeping on down. I'm not saying it moves perfectly in step with each other, but that's pretty darn good. Now, for the gold guys out there looking for a bounce, you're getting pretty darn close here. So today's action on gold has taken it to the 61.8% retracement of the July to September move, and it's also on the 200-day moving average. So perhaps you see a little bit of a bounce in the base metal, but we'll see. All right, what else do we got popping today? Costco. Now, I want to get the actual factuals here, right? So, EPS actual, the estimate was 202. It came in at 203. Year ago period 177. So 17.5% growth year over year. Small surprise to the upside. If you look at sales, they're expecting 41.7 billion with a B. They got 42.3 billion with a B, up 15.7% year over year. All of this. And what do we get as a reward? Selling. So why, right? It's all about the guidance, guys. And here's the other thing too. This is the limitation of our not of our ability, but of our analysis here. Okay. Now, our whole thing here. Where's my? There we go. Let me pull up Costco here on Zacks. And most of our analysis is that goes into this using detailed estimates and the trend of earnings and all this. Most of what we do is trying to find out whether or not we believe this thing's going to beat or not, right? So we did this whole analysis and came out and said, yeah, I think it's going to beat. And we were right, okay? What's hard to be able to gauge is what the market's going to do in reaction to the earnings report, okay? And that's why we use options to control these, okay? We manage our risk because we can clearly define how much of our neck we're going to stick out during these earnings reports. That's why we use options to do this, because of that unknown that's out there, okay? So when you have something like this and, you know, the analysis looks like they're going to end up beating on EPS and things are smoothing out and looking okay, and then the stock is down, don't get all frustrated that like, oh, this doesn't work and we shouldn't be doing this and blah, blah, blah. It's not going to work every time, okay? Uh, if it did work every time, we'd be loading the boat on these, right? We wouldn't be, controlling what percentage of our account goes into these and managing our risk through options and everything. We just wouldn't. So don't get discouraged when you have something like this. I mean, it's easy to get discouraged. I have been, of course, to get frustrated. I'm a human. But our analysis is based on whether or not this thing is likely to beat and what the earnings story is likely to be. And it beat. So the market's acting negatively to it right now. What's the rest of the market doing? Don't break the streak. So the non-farm payrolls report came in, 33,000 jobs lost versus expectations for a 90,000 job gain. You could chalk it up to the hurricane, as that was last month's number, and you're not going to be hiring new people when your house is getting blown down. So there we go, guys. Markets selling off a little bit. Let's see if this is recent. No, see already off of the lows. Market's starting to creep back. Don't be surprised if all the major markets finish the day in the green, because the market just doesn't care anymore. It just wants to go higher. Look at that NASDAQ. It's already fought back most of that. Russell's chopping around a little bit. And again, this euro breaking down. You want to get back down to this 70 level. Get lower. Get lower. Help me out. All right. Constellation Brands. So I know a couple of you did get vertical with this. Let me pull up. Let's get ourselves over to this bar charts.
Who is this irresistible creature who has an insatiable love for the dead?
Let's pull up Constellation Brands here real quick. And we were in this front month. Let's stag view's fine. So when I was looking at this, I was telling people, you're probably just better off selling out of the money put spreads. Okay. And if you had one of those out of the money put spreads, obviously you can come back and cover right now for a nice tidy little profit. A couple of you were brave and got vertical on these. Now that's all good, but when you're vertical and the stock spikes and then now is kind of just whipping about this 210 region, it can make you a little bit nervous. But remember, guys, when you are vertical on these spreads, that this long call that you have is going to start trading a lot closer to the intrinsic value, so the difference between the strike price and the current price. Whereas this short call that you have that's out of the money, or maybe right at the money, isn't going to have any intrinsic value, but it's going to have a lot of, or some time value and implied volatility still. So you can be patient with something like this in order for the short end of your call to erode in value so that you get closer to your max gain here. I want to check in on Adobe. Look who's got above 150. Wow. It's amazing what they did to this stock. Spiking above, getting all the way down to 146, and now it's starting to creep back in. That's why, guys, if you're selling these out of the money spreads and it goes against you, it really behooves you to be patient with it, because time is on your side anyway. You're short the spread. It's working for you. It's not working against you, like if you were on the other side of the trade. So, granted, everybody wants things to go in their favor right away. But it doesn't always happen that way. Okay. Sometimes you got to take a step back to take a step forward, and that's what happens with these guys. So there you go. Let's look at AOI real quick since Jeff's talking about it. And yeah, you got a little bit of a rally there. Man. You know, it's not good when when you got a stock that's getting beat up when the rest of the market is just skyrocketing higher. These guys, I think, when they have their earnings is when hopefully you'll get some life in them, some real life in them. Remember, you got to look out to what's the actual story behind these guys, right? Let's get rid of some of these random fibs we have here. What's the actual story? The actual story was that these data centers were going to be moving from one capacity of a switch to another capacity of switch, right? It was essentially what it was. And then the pace of that was slowing, so they're taking a temporary punch in the face. But you know that eventually things are going to heat back up for this company. So you got to lean on the fundamentals, stretch out your time frame a little bit. Try not to get locked into these short-term. These short-term ideas are great, but why are you making? Why are you making it a short-term reason, right? Is it short-term because you think so? Market doesn't care what you think. Is it short-term because you know, hey, coming up, so like this, right? So at HIIQ, I'm going to go back to this painful, frustrating thing here. I was telling people, hey man, the end of October, you're supposed to have a resolution with these guys. So when I see this thing just tumbling, I mean, this is ugly. But I'm trying to get in. I'm trying to get in this. So 40G to 100, that's exactly what I said, the different capacity switches. That's the switches. So anyway, this thing beat up. Then mid-October is when they're supposed to have a resolution to this. I think what this is an indictment on their management, because they never should have allowed this situation to get anywhere close to what it has. And that's just poor management on their part. So then, that spills over to everything else. Yes, the lag. I know, the 30-second lag. Ah! I keep forgetting about that. That's okay. So I'm talking to you from the future, right? KB. I think I just misread this one. Putting on the strangle, just misread it, and wasn't thinking about the positive impact of tax reform. I was so focused on the negative impact of the hurricane initially, so I misread it and misplayed it as a result. So I should have given less emphasis to the hurricane and much more emphasis to the tax reform play. But again, this is another scenario where we're short a call spread, we're short a put spread, and just be patient on the side that's against you, because you're pretty much at what would be a max loss. So why guarantee a max loss when there's a chance that it could creep on back? There's a reason why I go out a couple weeks on these, in case my timing's not perfect, to give the stock a chance to kind of come back to where I'm at. Oh yeah, that's right. So part of this morning after is we're supposed to come in here and say, okay, well, what's the play if you haven't had a position? So coming in later. So I'm surprised that these guys are coming under so much pressure here today. Now, let me see if I can get something a little bit more concrete here for us. I can't show you anything of this. I can't show you these guys' reports, unfortunately. I was hoping for just a little blurb. That's okay. You know, we got deals with these guys, so we can't just show everything to everybody. Get out of here. See if I can get some. I always feel weird clicking on somebody else's, somebody else's article for us. Hey, look at this guy. Oh. Let's see what this guy has to say. So yes, we knew we beat. Did they give? I want to get the exact. If we got some exact numbers here, give us some concrete evidence to what it is. So comps were good too. Okay. Operating income good. All this was good. Gross margin contracted. Okay. That's it. So that's when you know somebody's just looking for a problem, right? You're gonna beat on all this and all that, and then well, wait a minute, guys. The gross margin contracted 15 basis points. Nah, you know what that is? I'm not buying that. I think this is institutional distribution, and they're just waiting for the higher volume day that you get with earnings in order to dump it. So Kurt, what's the play? No, Bruno actually didn't make GBU last night. I was going to talk about that. I was going to address that today. But I need to do it. I need to do the GBU. What had happened was, so I'm officially a Florida driver now. I finally got my Florida driver's license, which was relatively painless. Something goofy about Florida, they don't. So in Illinois, they put your height, weight, and eye color on your license. And they don't do that in Florida. They just put your height, which I think is goofy. Totally goofy. Because, like, how do you know, just by the height? Really? I guess that's good for passing fake IDs when you're younger. Anyway, so there's that. So then, so me and the missus are moving out to Sunrise. And we went and checked out and found a place. So this was all kind of like towards it was like 3 o'clock. So down here, you have to set an appointment for the DMV, for this DMV, which is goofy. It only took me about an hour. But yeah, so we went and found our new place. And I think we're going to move out there. So we're waiting to hear back. I filled out the application, everything yesterday for the apartment complex. And I'm supposed to hear back today, tomorrow. And we're probably going to move on the 20th, which is right around the corner. So it's happening quick. Good news, we got 2-bedroom, attached garage, which is clutch. And then I'm going to be in there with another garage spot because I'll give her the, attached garage, then I'll go somewhere else. Anyway, so all that was happening. So that's the reason why I didn't get this GPU done. So there you go. So I'll get something done today. So for you guys wanting to come and scoop in some stuff on Costco, I think that might. This is very gutsy. I think, Kurt, the 157.50 call that expires today. It is gutsy, very gutsy. Doesn't mean it's the wrong play. That might be one way to go. I think you may be more comfortable waiting until the end of the trading day, seeing what Costco does. Remember, keep an eye on your VWAP too, right? So Costco's still trading underneath this VWAP. Maybe it'll come test it again. We'll see. Remember, a pattern that we got a lot last quarter was these stocks coming down, chopping up a little, chopping down a little, and just chopping with that VWAP coming down like here, right? We've seen this pattern a lot on that Friday of expiration. So I'm thinking the better play is allow these guys to come in and beat them up. Towards the end of the day today, you go out to next week and get yourself a little call action next week. That might be a better short-term solution. So let's pull this up. Oh, the other good part about Sunrise, Florida, AT&T Gigapower Internet, the fiber optics, which we were supposed to have here at the yacht club, like months ago. They installed it, the actual fiber cable. It was 9 months ago. It's like when I first got here, and it's still not ready. So I don't know what's going on here. So here, Kurt, going with 157, 160s. You can make 2.5% your money on that, something like that. Or you just buy the 157 outright and hope that it comes creeping back. I mean, $10 is 5.76%, right? So that's 165s. You can make a bunch of money if it starts to creep back a little bit. The other thing you could do is take advantage of the negativity and now sell a put spread for next week. 63-cent net credit. So the 157.50, okay, so 63 cents. 250 minus the 63 cents is 187. So you can make 33.6% on an out-of-the-money put spread short on this. You need Costco to stay at or above 157.50 at expiration next week. However, here's the thing. You want a little bit more reward than that, I believe. Because this is why. You're in a situation where the Dow is on like a 7-day winning streak. So if something sours on the market next week and it starts to retrace a little bit of its bullish move here, stocks that were down are going to get pounded worse. So the moral of the story here is that the risky play is exactly what you're saying. It's 157.50, 10-6 call. That's a roll of the dice, but that's what we're here for. That could pay off huge. The more conservative play is to wait until the end of the day and do a call spread for next week. Okay? So I say a little money here, a little money there. Roll the dice a little bit. And that too, yeah. Shorting that just the 1 day put spread, you can do that too. I wanted to find something that. So I had this surprise activity sheet up here, so we could see the activity coming in last night. Helena Troy. Oh, Yum China. We missed Yum China. They whipped this thing around all over the place. Helena Troy coming under some serious pressure here. That's not good. They got a nice year-over-year number. They beat on EPS very nicely. Disappointed on revenue. And that's enough to get them crushed. Woof. You want to talk about a headache? Look at this. There you go, Kurt. What's your 50 cents? Nice. Very nice. So see the trade that Kurt's talking about? Let's get back to Costco. Sold this out of the money put spread that expires today. And he's just hoping that Costco can stay at or above 157.50 today. It's early in the day. So hopefully this can creep back. If we can get above this VWAP, test this gap, maybe get into it. You never know. Up. All of a sudden, we got a bounce here in this euro. Spoo's still creeping up. NASDAQ fighting, trying to get there. It's like a little bit of dollar weakness all of a sudden. That's okay. What do we got next week? So, I did get one comment / recommendation that, hey, let's do Netflix, earlier next week, and give some time maybe to catch drift heading into the report. That would have been great for me to do already, because Netflix had a great day the other day when it announced that it was going to increase how much it was going to charge for its service by 10% or whatever it was. I think it was 10%. So I think I want to do that. We've done a lot of the day of sort of things. I think we're going to go a little further out. Sorry, guys. It's these allergies are starting to get me again, man, all of a sudden. South Florida, man, getting to me again. It's that time of year, I suppose. So, Netflix reports on the 16th. So we'll do this, sometime next week. I want to give us plenty of time. We're also going to have a lot of banks next week. JP Morgan, Citi, okay? We're definitely going to have to mess with the banks, Bank of America. And then I'm going to make sure we do AMD this time around. Although we've got lots of time for AMD. That's a week after Thursday. So next week we'll probably do a Netflix, and then either a Citi or a JP Morgan, because I don't like doing Bank of America for whatever reason. I don't. Yeah, and we'll space it out a little bit. Give us some time so we can catch some drift heading into earnings. Now specifically about Netflix. see their big jump the other day. Whew. And they've been running. But that's all right. We're going to talk about them. You know, it's not their crappy 90s movies. Although that is baffling. It's their original content. It's really driving a lot of this. People love their original shows. And that's what they're signing in there for. Oh yeah, this is a nice little chart to talk about. Nice. Yeah, that'll be good. Domino's. Oh. You know Domino's has outperformed Google since Google's IPO? True story. These guys are always fun to talk about. Tracy and I used to talk about Domino's all the time. Oh, which also reminds me, guys. Oh, excuse me. Oh, it reminds me. That's so funny. I could not control that yawn. I just couldn't. There's gonna be a little bit of a shakeup over at Zach's. My good friend, the legend, Eric Dutram, is leaving for greener pastures, and that means I've got to take over Surprise Trader. So I don't think that's going to have a negative effect for anything that I'm doing here with you guys. I think if anything, it'll be positive. In case you don't know, Surprise Trader is, I don't know, Surprise Trader is live trader without options, basically, where we've got a screen that we use that gives us clues as to which stocks we think are going to outperform on earnings, and buy them in I think it's like a week before or 2 weeks, in the hopes that it yeah, Surprise Trader is very similar to ZLT. Yeah, absolutely. Although I guess the thing is, there's a few main differences aside from the obvious that this is a video thing and Surprise Trader is not. With Live Trader, the actual quotes, like the stocks that we're looking at, are kind of like ideas that you guys have, right? And what is popular and what pops up. So it's like, oh, like Domino's. I'm being told there won't no home run for me. So the Bolinator is probably going to take. The Bolinator is going to take back Home Run probably, and then I'm going to do Surprise, Momentum, and then this. So Live Trader is really just like my little pet project, because I think it's cool. Whereas this is more, Momentum obviously is what I got hired to do at Zach's. So Surprise. So anyway, so Surprise is more like I hand pick the stocks, which ones I want to talk about, or which ones I believe are going to outperform. Whereas Live Trader is like, all right, guys, how do we make money on this earnings report that's coming up? Okay, so it's different. It's different. Oh, you got. Don't roast Bolin. Don't roast Bolin. He's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna be happy, to be honest with you, because he's got to do. He's got his stocks under 10, and then so I guess Home Run will be basically just like stocks under 10, except stocks that aren't under 10. But he's supposed to do a technology innovators service also. So, which is, I don't know if that's a daily or if that's a weekly. I don't know. You know, that's for the upper brass to decide. So, but either way, I think I'm gonna kind of miss Homerun. I like Homerun. The only thing I don't like about Homerun is the weekly write up can get a bit much. But I'm getting better at that. You know, because I write just so much. It's like it's just a lot of writing, and you have to try. I'm trying to keep it entertaining. I'm trying to jam, you know, thoughts of a whole week into one day, and it doesn't always work. But it is what it is. So anyway, I don't know that that's going to change too much about what we got going on. I hope it doesn't. I hope I can still continue to do this in this way and do what I want to do, and we'll go from there. Okay, so because we're going to be adding some Twitch. I know everybody keeps, Dave, when you doing Twitch? Well, that's coming. All right, so do me a favor, guys. Right now, I'm thinking. I'm just gonna type this in here so that you guys can see this later. Right now, I'm thinking next week we do Netflix to give it a little bit of a run up. JP Morgan or Citi. Maybe both. And another name. Then the week after, we get AMD, Alphabet, and then others. Okay? So, shoot me your email suggestions. livetrader@zax.com. And we'll see what we want to do next week. When is this DPZ reporting? I feel like Earnings Whisperers got this wrong last time, because once I had this thing planned Thursday the 12th before the open. Okay, we could do DPZ on Tuesday maybe. DPZ Tuesday, we could do something like that. Ooh, OLED. Let's try and get some different names this quarter. Yeah, I want to try some names I haven't done before. OLED's definitely a good idea there. Gotta remind me of that. And we'll put together a nice little game plan also. Yes, GBU, of course, GBU. Yeah, oh yeah, so here's the good news about the new place. Two bedroom, two nice, sizable bedrooms. So the green screen cometh. I am excited about that. I'm gonna have a nice little setup from a green screen where I can get down to business. So it'll be good because I'll actually then be able to use my laptop that I'm using now is going to be sort of video production, and then my other desktop will be my other business, which is good. Because it's like almost feeling bad. That's like I got these extra computers. Like, what the heck am I doing? And now this will work fantastically. So. You talking the Discord channel? Or which channel are you talking about? We gotta talk about this tech stuff. What is it? I know I sound like I'm whining. I just wish somebody else would do it for me. We need to get Pando versed on all this. So I can focus on what I'm here to focus on, and that's investments and content creation and that kind of stuff. A lot of this, the nitty gritty of this tech stuff, I just gloss over sometimes. But yeah, if I could pin it onto the Discord, that'd be nice too. Okay. All right, guys. So I guess the only real actionable item I have here today is waiting to see what happens with this Costco. Kurt's jumping out ahead of it. I think what I'm going to do here is wait to the end of the day and then look at a call spread out next week. I think that's the trade that pays officially. All right. I didn't mean just the pinning of the message. I mean getting the Twitch set up and doing all this crap. It's just too much. It's too much. Yeah, we do need to go over that, and I'll talk and be on the voice, and we'll figure this all out. All right, guys, I got to get out of here, man. I need to get some coffee. I am not firing on all cylinders this morning. I need to get some coffee. It's been a long week. It's been a lot going on, and yeah. So thanks so much for hanging out with me here on the morning after Costco. Shoot me those emails, and I'll talk to you guys in the Discord, and you can make fun of me there. All right, guys. So thanks for hanging out. We'll see you soon.